Central banks are looking at this on a number of different levels, and some of the work has been publicized, some hasn't. They're looking at and they're looking at. I know your question focused on digital currencies, but I just want to say, in addition to just the digital currency issue, that central banks are looking and have been looking for the last couple of years at the blockchain technology itself, and is a distributed ledger a good technology platform. Like, one of the things a central bank does is it operates a real-time gross settlement system, that, like the FedWire here in the U.S. and the Bank of England, and so they're looking at does the technology work? There's also work being done with a degree of cooperation and oversight by central banks around something called a utility settlement coin. Utility settlement coin, again, is not a digital currency. It is the way that would work is if a group of 5 big banks, and actually there's a consortium, so I think it's Barclays and UBS, and I can't remember everybody at this moment who's in it that joined it, but the idea is that they would actually document that they are holding euros or sterling or dollars in a central bank, and then that would be kind of visible through the ledger to everybody that they had it, and other people couldn't move it, and then there would be kind of a derivative of central bank money, which would be this utility settlement coin, which actually referred back to it and could be shown conclusively to exist through an open ledger that these funds were really there, and then people could use the utility settlement coin. So, one of the issues, I referred to delivery versus payment before, and to have a distributed ledger, maybe this was too technical, but, ideally you want to have delivery versus payment on the same ledger rather than have, payment over here and, the asset move over there. Because then you either need some sort of escrow arrangement, maybe a smart contract could do it, or you need some sort of central trusted party to tell you both things is happening, which sort of defeats the purpose of a peer-to-peer decentralized system in the first place. So going back to your original question, what's going on with digital currencies? Is a central bank going to issue them? I think that they're studying them. They're trying to figure out what would be the purpose of doing it. I think that that ties into something that central banks have generally declined to do thus far, which is to open, retail direct deposit accounts, right? And I think one of the reasons they haven't done it is out of concern that if, everybody in this room could get an account in a Federal Reserve System bank, then that could sort of undermine people's use of the banking system. But central bankers are looking at it. A lot of them are putting out white papers and consultations. They're being done individually. There's actually, a lot of kind of papers being written by groups of regulators through the Bank for International Bank for Internet, BIS, and CPMI. These different kind of regulator groups who are studying it and getting consultations. So actually, you can read the comment letters as well. Will the what are the use cases? Will it facilitate more efficient payment? Financial inclusion. Some central bankers like the idea that there's greater resilience of a distributed system. Then there's debate about who's going to go first, right? Like, will will it be a country like Sweden? People is often who they think well, it's kind of a cashless society anyway. Is it going to be someone there, or is it going to be a country like, at the other extreme, Venezuela, where there's so little confidence in the central bank and how their currency is debased, that maybe a digital currency will give them an opportunity to have something that's not debased. People look at it through a lens of, will it expand access for the unbanked? And you look at some of the efforts to bring, like, for example, in India, where they've used biometrics to bring, over 1 billion people, into the financial system. So I think central bankers are looking at it from another perspective, a lot of perspectives. They are typically not the fastest moving organizations, right? They are studying it slow. Time is relative, and but I really think it's their job to move slowly and deliberately and think these things through. But they are definitely aware of it and thinking about it and looking at it and running simulations and you know, it's definitely on their radar screen.